It sounds way more to me like, what's the right word? Like it hasn't like lost it, like it still seems relevant.
Yeah.
Like the Beatles sounded old to me in the 90s.
Cool, man.
We're rolling.
This week we're celebrating Christmas in July. This is episode 116 of The Malting Hour.
What's the hats on the house? Got yeast and beast. This the Molten Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted when you're getting wasted. The Molten Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
And to his right,
Danny.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
This is a one-take episode. This is the closest we're gonna get to a live episode, a real live episode, because once we're done recording, I'm gonna go back, mix it down, and post it, baby.
Yes, you could be listening to this less than 12 hours after it's recorded.
Absolutely.
Probably less than 4 hours.
Yeah, no shit. Well, it's a special episode. It is our Christmas in July. Ho, ho, ho.
It's the first time we've done Christmas in July, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. You'd think it'd be something that we'd have done by now.
Yeah.
Like, not waited until you had this awesome idea when you saw a bunch of Christmas beers lying around.
Yeah, and the funny thing was...
Yeah, let's say, how did this come to be?
So, when I was in Arizona, I was looking through, like, the single bottles that they had there, and there was, like, a whole seasonal section, and, like, literally just had a bunch of different Christmas beers. And I was looking at ones that I don't know if we've ever had on the show, so I was kind of looking it up, and I found a bunch of those, and I think I told you about it, and you're like, oh, that's funny. Benny's has the Breckenridge Christmas Ale kegs for $10.
The mini guys, yeah.
And you're like, I'll buy one, I'll buy that, and then, whatever, and you forgot to buy it, and then I think you went out of town, so then I went over and bought it.
Yeah.
But it was $10.
Funny how that works. Yeah, and so all these beers are from the Christmas time of 2022.
I think so.
Yeah.
Is there a date on the bottle?
Not sure. I hope it's not older than that. I don't know. I'm going to start bringing my glasses with me when we do episodes.
Want Dan to look at it?
Here, Dan, take a look at that. You can speak up and say, hey, give it to me.
Hey,
I can't see your hand.
Give me that beer.
There's
I don't see anything right now.
Yeah,
That's right.
Well, what are we drinking?
We are drinking Abita Brewing.
Abita.
Is that really how you say it?
No.
Okay. Abita Brewing out of Abita Springs, Louisiana. So it's Christmas ale. I almost forgot that part. Our Christmas ale is a brown ale that is brewed with 10 types. You want to start over, Tony?
Yeah, try it one more time. We're going to start the whole episode.
I meant the whole...
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll start the whole episode over. Welcome.
10 types of malted barley and fermented with American ale yeast. It is brewed with pale malt as well as a combination of caramel, Munich, chocolate, and roasted malts. It is hopped and dry hopped with Columbus, Cascade, Centennial, and Amarillo, and has nice piney citrus hop flavor and aroma. The result is a flavorful brown ale that is sweet and malty with a pleasant hop aroma.
Good job, team. Like
Wait till you guys hear our acapella Christmas album.
We actually need Clark for that one. First impressions, Brandon?
Tastes like Christmas.
Yeah. I've got to be honest, it tastes like a Christmas ale.
There's nothing off about it. Like I was expecting maybe some oxidation or
something weird. Because
weird. But I feel like I don't know if I've ever had this fresh, but I feel like there's a good amount of like brown sugar that's coming through that I'm kind of getting, and then all of those those pleasant piney and citrus type stuff that plays really well with it. And it's funny that this is a Christmas beer. I'm like, I get that it is, but I'm like, I could drink this any time of the year. Like this is a solid beer, man. I enjoy it.
Dan, what do you think about this beer? You tend to be the more polarizing.
Yeah, no, I.
By the way, this is a very famous scene.
I know. I was gonna say I know. This
Die Hard's on. Dan has never seen. There it is.
There it is.
He's in the vent shaft. Yeah, the air duct, and he's got the lighter going. It's perfect. All right, go ahead.
So I feel like I am more sensitive to this than you guys, but I do feel like I taste old hops. And I got it on the nose right away, and I was kind of like, is that like oxidation or is it just like spices from a Christmas ale. But then when I was reading it, it doesn't have a ton of like spices in it. So then I was like, and then I took a sip of it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it does taste a little old, but I feel like it's still passable because it's a brown ale. Probably like the malt's like covering it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's got old hop smell, not old hop taste. Mm-hmm. Like there is like a citrusiness to it still. That's like I don't get a lot of piney. There is kind of that like when you like an old IPA and those like hop flavors kind of like blend into each other and just kind of become, a big like mess. There's a little bit of that, but with that being said, it's not in the forefront of the beer while you're drinking it. To me, the first thing it reminded me of was whose Christmas ale am I thinking of? I'll remember. I can't place it right now, but there's always like with Christmas ales, and I think I've said this before, there's a bitterness of like when you have tea that hits me on the side of my tongue that I think comes from the malts, whatever like toasted or roasted malts or darker malts they use that kind of hit my tongue every time I have a Christmas beer.
I might be wrong. Is brown sugar a Christmas ale?
No, but it comes out around fall and winter. Again, I miss brown sugar. I wouldn't say man, but it came out as gan. I miss brown sugar. I really hope brown sugar comes back around. I've told the story a million times about you, Brandon, and introducing me to brown sugar at Fishman's. Yeah, I think overall though this beer holding up from. I mean, I bet you this beer is probably close to being a year old from when it was made.
Oh
maybe.
yeah.
Well, maybe not a year, but close to it because we're in July. The beer probably came out around ready to be packaged in October. When
If not before that.
Yeah, when it starts hitting the shelves then. But yeah, so we're coming up on a year probably for this beer. And I got to say, pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad for being an old Christmas beer. I would, obviously, like to look for this one this year for a fresh version. So maybe we can try and find that for our Christmas episode.
I was going to say, we should try to find all of these fresh.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They probably don't I don't think Abita distros here, do they?
You do.
Yeah, Abita's here. Yeah, you can get. I'm sure we can find a way to get some Abita. We can go. We can drive to Wisconsin and go to what is the giant
Morris Cheese Castle?
No.
Woodman's?
Yeah, Woodman's. That Woodman's has an insane amount of beer.
One thing I
from all over.
Another positive I want to say about this, I appreciate the body and the mouthfeel. Like some Christmas beers can become like syrupy, but I feel like this one's still like middle of the road, drinkable.
Yeah, it's a light to medium body. Like it's kind of refreshing to have right now. I still get like that tea type bitterness, so my mind kind of goes to that like drinking iced tea type of deal. But not that the beer reminds me of iced tea, but the wrapper I meant. Brandon, how many ho-ho-hos are you going to give this one? You have to actually do ho-ho-ho though, like your Santa.
I'm going to go ho, 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 ho.
Is that 3 point...
We go 375.
Oh, 375.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to say, is that 3.25? Dan, how many ho-ho-hos are you giving this?
Ho, ho, ho.
3.25.
Yeah.
I really hope that you don't ever have to dress up like Santa for your kids and do it because that's a terrible ho-ho-ho.
I was counting on my fingers.
I
Just
know.
couldn't see it.
If I would have had more time, I was going to put on my Santa costume.
Oh, that would have been
and come down
great.
here and just sit here.
Well, because then we could have taken a picture with Santa with all these beers.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to have another like Brandon episode where we mess up how many dimensions we're talking
It
about.
was the greatest thing ever. Going back and listening to that episode might be one of my favorites, just so you guys know. All right, for me, I'm going to give it ho, 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 ho.
Ooh.
I think it's 3.5. Oh. What did you think it was?
That sounded like a
That's not
full
four.
ho.
Oh, no, I went ho. That's an H instead of the ho. So the H would be half of. You know what? I don't have to explain myself to you guys. It's 3.5 O's. Yeah, good way to start it, Brandon. Very nice. Hope the rest of these gonna go on this route here. I did not expect it. What I actually just taking that last sip, and maybe it's because I was looking at the peaches. I know that Scheinerbach does a peach Christmas beer. That I wonder how this would be if there was like some type of peach in it. I don't think of peach for Christmas, but the way this beer tastes, I feel like maybe some sort of peach in there would have been kind of nice. Ooh, this is a dark one, Brandon. Holy moly. What is this that we're drinking?
So now we're going into Excuse me. Another one from Abita. This
Another
is
dimension.
Office Party.
Oh, 2 Abitas, huh? Ooh, it's
What's
from,
up?
it's in the limited series. Office Party Holiday Stout. Ooh, this one's 8. I can't read. I think
6.8.
it's 6.8. Sorry.
Yeah. Spice up your holiday
We gotta
mix
read
and
those
mingle
glasses,
with the best dressed brew. Office Party is a holiday stout brewed with oats, pale caramel, and chocolate malts, and is hopped with Willamette hops. Generous amounts of cocoa nibs, cinnamon, vanilla, and nutmeg are added to infuse the spirit of the holidays into this limited release. Oh, Tony took a sip.
Holy shit. That is like sucking on a clove. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know if that's because of the last beer we had, but whew, that was like... You ever bite into a clove as a kid because you're an idiot? I did.
Yeah.
That's what that fucking tastes like. I don't know. I don't know if I can drink this.
You mean the cigarette, right?
What?
The clove cigarette.
I mean, they smell the same, but actual cloves, holy shit, that is intense.
Smells pleasant.
It did smell. It smells very nice. It smells like a Christmas beer. Let me take another sip. Whoa, that was.
You know what? It's. I'm getting like a watered down root beer.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Were you agreeing or
Yeah,
like?
I was saying, I was listening.
What, sarsaparilla? What are we
Yeah,
going
yeah.
back into that conversation?
Yeah, we're doing that again.
I was thinking about how I thought it was aqueous. But then when you said that, I was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Go on. Dan,
intrigued.
what are you feeling with this beer here?
And I don't know if it's the age or what, but I feel like I'm getting the lactose, like that it's a milk stout, it said.
Did it?
I thought
It's untapped. It's classified as a milk stout.
So, I mean, I feel like I'm getting that on it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Or maybe it's the age. But I agree with you. It's like heavy spice, and then I get that, like, lactose sweetness to me.
I'm getting that lactose.
Here's the thing.
sweetness now.
Somebody checked into this beer an hour ago
What the fuck?
and gave it 5 stars.
What?
Don't say their name, but did they give it a review?
No.
Oh man.
Somebody else did it 21 hours ago, gave it 3 3/4 stars. Somebody ended July 29th, gave it 1.5 stars.
All right. Okay. So we're running the
3
gamut. there.
stars. No stars.
What
4
about?
stars.
See if you can scroll. See what any check-ins that are closer to like Christmas time. 'Cause let's see what people were saying when this was fresh. Because that is kind of like that's tough. I've had Great Lakes Christmas Ale months after Christmas before and thought it was still fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But also could be because I'm just kind of partial to that as a Christmas beer. It's one of my favorite Christmas beers.
Somebody checked in July and gave it a 3.5 and said, tastes like an office party. And I'm like, is that good or bad?
Yeah, I'm not sure. The rating would say one thing, and then the description.
Oh yeah, what's the overall rating is 3.75. It looks like 3.64
That sounds about right.
There's a lot of people having this, like,
now.
Christmas in July. It's not. We didn't come up with this concept, by the way, guys. I don't know if you know that. Christmas in July is a thing.
Oh, I know.
I don't know if Dan knows. That's what I said you guys because I don't want to feel left out like I was picking on him, which I'm not.
oh.
But
Is
yeah.
this another age joke?
I think we did that. I think we did an event at Fishman's once. Did a Christmas in July, and it was just a bunch of stouts.
Oh, see, that sounds fun.
that.
That's what I thought about. I was wondering, like, should we have like what we would normally drink around Christmas? But then, like, it's Sunday. We're not going to go into this. Overall, Brady, are you still looking that up?
Yeah.
If you are, I'll say if not, don't worry about it. Overall, Dan, what are you thinking about this beer?
I don't love it, and I don't know if I would love it fresh either myself. But it's just like personal preference. It's not bad. It's just not my jam.
I feel like this is not a knock at them. It's not for me either. I feel like it is a overly spiced homebrewed stout, like, or Christmas ale. It doesn't even come off to me really as a stout, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
Porters.
yeah,
Which milk stouts are thinner usually.
sure.
My thought was, I'm wondering if like the malt has fallen off, and we're literally just getting left with the spice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'm not getting any like cocoa. I'm not like all of these things that are supposed to be in there. I'm not getting, and it just seems like it's fallen off.
What I'm wondering with seeing what the regular like review for it is like the overall on Untapped is somewhere by like almost 3.5, but not even 4. I mean, kind of middle of the road, just fine. Doesn't mean it's a bad beer, but I'm wondering if maybe this is just how it tastes type of deal. You know what I mean? Like with those spices being as strong as they are right now is like.
I do think how it would be fresh.
Yeah, well, and I also think though my first reaction was because we were coming off of the last beer. I feel like I didn't drink water or anything. But the last beer that we had, then going into this, I got the spice like hard. It was just very sensitive to it because I'm not. It's not sucking on a clove now.
Yeah.
That's man. But that was like John. I've never had a beer. I think on this show where I was like, "What the fuck am I drinking?" I mean, I have, but I've never said it like that. But yeah, it's. I don't know. To me, it just again another one. Let's see if we can find it fresh. I think it comes off as a homebrew, like in my mind of like trying someone's homebrew that is over spiced. Like, hey man, I did this holiday beer. Check this out, because I've been that guy. And you've totally just like you just got too excited and you overspiced it and didn't really consider the actual beer itself. So. I'm going to go first on this one if you guys, unless you had something else to say. I was
just going to say that I historically have not been fond of Abita beers. So
there's at least one or two that I know that I do like
Purple
from
Haze?
them.
That one's not
Purple Haze
good.
is one of them.
There's a strawberry one too that they do.
Strawberry one I like, but there's also
had
like
that.
a straight. They do an IPA.
I haven't had one in so long just because I've
had it in New Orleans. Like, and that could be it too because it was like, oh,
Fresh,
good.
maybe.
Super
At least
fresh.
I don't have to have Bud Light. Not that there's anything wrong with Bud Light. I would drink Bud Light any day of the week. Just gonna throw it out there. But like when you're walking around and all there is like Bud Light, Coors Light, Budweiser, Miller, and I don't want to drink giant, fucking big ass beers of that all day. It's nice to have like there was Sam Adams I had at a place, but I also paid $10 for a 12-ounce pour of it because
How long ago was this? I feel like there's a
Within 10
lot of
years.
breweries in New Orleans now to where I probably wouldn't get a beat if I was there. But I mean, 10
For
years
sure.
ago,
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean, probably close to
the
10
only
years
thing you
ago.
get.
Yeah. Anyway, it was probably like it was my second time that I went there was when I had that happen. Last time I went, I didn't give a shit. It was just we were literally drinking. I was drinking High Life the whole time. It
Yeah.
So,
was great.
Tony,
Yeah.
tell me, how many nutcrackers are you giving this beer?
This one in particular, I am gonna go with a 2.5.
Ooh.
2.5 because I'm still gonna finish it. I don't dislike it. I don't think I would reach for another one if we had one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
keep going, Dan. Why don't you
I feel
hype
like
this one up?
you actually accurately described what I feel as well. It's not awful.
Yeah.
It's just not my jam. I
Yeah.
don't really like the lactose. It's overspiced.
The lactose, actually, for me right now, the lactose is what kind of is saving that beer for me. If that sweetness wasn't there, I know because you're not a lactose guy.
no.
I mean, you're not a super sweet guy. But if that sweetness wasn't there, this to me would probably be like, a huge miss.
I felt like I was getting a little bit of the roast and a little bit of the chocolate, which I forgot to say earlier. But
You said it now, man.
yeah,
It's
said it
cool.
now.
Because I'm not going to go back and edit it all.
you
anything.
can put that earlier.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm going to start the episode the way that it started right before I said welcome to the Malt again.
That for me was the lactose for you, the saving grace.
Oh, the roastiness,
Yeah.
chocolatey. Okay. At first, I was like, where are we going with this? Brandon? So, how many nutcrackers? Are you getting the same nutcrackers, Dan?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah, yeah.
Brandon, how many? Oops, sorry, that's my phone. How many nutcrackers are you giving this one, buddy?
I think I'm between 2.25 and 2.5. So I'm in that same wheelhouse. And again, that's for what it is right now. Like I would definitely try this fresh just to kind of see what it's like. So if we can find like a single bottle of this,
We
or
gotta.
something.
I wouldn't mind if we ended up getting 2 6-packs of this. Is fine. Having random Christmas beers around.
Yeah.
That's okay. But if we can find these beers, that would be great.
Yeah.
I wonder if these came. Did you get these both from Arizona?
Yep.
I wonder if these came in like a holiday pack that just got split up or something, or if it
Could be.
is on its own. Because sometimes you see limited release like that. Sometimes it is in a pack,
That's true.
but who knows?
So maybe Abita has their own holiday mix pack.
Probably
we'll
easy
see.
thing to Google.
And this one we might not be able to get the Office Party because it could just be a one-off because they're
Yeah.
a limited series. So, but that's all right. We gave it a shot, and that's what Christmas July is all about. Brandon, how are we looking on time right now?
21 minutes.
20 minutes? That's a perfect time to take a quick break. As Dan brings over a little keg.
What do you want? Could have left it there.
Okay.
Well, I know. Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
Should I pause?
And I didn't know we were breaking, right?
We'll be right back. Us off, we just close the door because they can't open it from the inside.
And they fart there?
You can't?
You can't. You can fart there too.
Thank you.
And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody. It's our Christmas in July episode as we watch Die Hard here. Dan's never seen it. It's his first time. How do you like it so far, Dan? You kind of came in the middle.
Lots of action.
Can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of action. A lot of blonde people. Carl Winslow's there. It's pretty cool.
Carl Winslow's there.
Carl Winslow.
All right, what are we drinking now, gentlemen?
We are drinking Breckenridge's Christmas Ale.
Out of a little pony keg.
Yeah. Excited about this one.
Me too. Did you get anybody take a sip of it yet?
I did.
Yes.
Dan almost finished his. He's been
I don't think. Is there a description? Anybody got a description? Can you read it off the keg, Dan?
I got one in 1 second. The chill of winter calls for a beer with extra flavor and strength. An abundance of carefully roasted malts create notes of caramel and chocolate, while Chinook and Mount Hood hops contribute a spicy quality for balance and a clean finish.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
What are you guys getting off this? Brandon, we'll start with you on this one since this was the little guy that you bought. You bought all of these. I'm talking about like this. This keg was kind of what.
I'm really getting like an abundance of carefully roasted malts.
Okay,
It's creating notes of caramel and chocolate.
Interesting. Wow.
The Chinook and Mount Hood hops give it a nice spice quality.
Oh, okay. That's
I am getting some chocolate. I'm not a little bit of like sweetness probably like is that caramel that I'm thinking of that may have fallen off a little bit. But the hop spice is kind of light, so I feel like the hops have fallen a little bit, but not in a way.
hops have fallen.
Not in a way that it diminishes the beer to make it like not drinkable or not enjoyable. Like I actually, this is probably might be my favorite of the night so far.
Yeah, for sure. I'm before I even say anything else, 100%. Dan, how about you? How do you feel about this?
I agree with you guys that it's the best of the night. I do feel like I'm getting old hops again. I'm picking it up, but I think it's giving off like a weird fruity character to me.
So old hops, but still like a fruity character.
Yeah,
But not
it's like
it's not the beer itself is giving you the fruity character.
no, I don't think so. I think it's from the hops.
I got a weird thing. I'm going to jump in just because it sounds like we have different things, but we still like the beer. So when I first took a sip, I still don't know what it is. I have to figure it out. I have to pinpoint it when it comes to certain beers with like roasted. And I think maybe Matthew had talked to me or us about this. I got like a metallic tinny taste right away, like hardcore. And I get that sometimes from like roasted malts or like stouts or porters and beers like this. It's got to be a roasted malt thing. Like it doesn't stay with me the entire time, but it always worries me when I take a sip and I'm like, it tastes like metal in my mouth. It's very weird, but I got that right off the bat. And that's me. I don't think that's at the beer, but if anybody's sensitive to that with certain roasted malts, they might pick up on this with this one. I don't remember tasting that in drinking this Christmas ale fresh, though.
Maybe it's the keg.
I don't think so. I don't. That's
Not starting rumors.
But now, like, as I'm drinking it, I don't taste that anymore. It could just be transitioning again from one beer to another, and something else is just standing out, and something else fades. So
Yeah, but I also feel like, I mean, as much as a beer can, this kind of opens up a little bit. Like, I've been swirling it a little bit. And
yeah,
like, I feel
when you were reading the description, I was like swirling the shit out of this. Like, I wanted to shake
milk,
it off.
The milk frother.
Yeah. Oh my god. With bourbon.
Oh yeah.
Man, Brandon, we have so many things we really need to start putting a list together when we don't have like an actual episode set up. A lot of videos we've shared between each other. I'm ready to do this. But that's not what we're discussing. We're discussing this beer.
Which I want to add.
Yes,
I've been
please.
trying to think about this fruit character. I feel like it's like a blend between like candied orange and then also like a overripe plum. That's what I'm getting. So it's kind of a little bit of dark fruit, but then also a little bit of that citrus, but not a bright citrus.
What hops were in here again?
Mount Hood and
Cascade?
Chinook.
Chinook.
I don't get the orange. I do get a little bit of the dark fruit and the sweetness. I feel like that might come from the malt, obviously, and just being a sweeter beer. I will say, with how old this is and how long we saw it sitting on the shelves at Binny's for at least
Unrefrigerated.
unrefrigerated, it held up very well. So kudos to the packaging right there for it to be. I mean, it's not bad. Like, I will probably have a little bit more of this before we leave tonight. Like, I didn't do I did like a half a glass, but it's good. It tastes good. Like, I think it's the only beer so far that I think could compare to how it was fresh. Yes, thank you. I was trying to figure that out. Dan looked very confused and perplexed by what's going on in Die Hard right now.
Carl Winslow had a bloody side of the head earlier, and now he's nice and clean.
Hey, man. He cleaned himself up.
They didn't pay the continuity editor enough back then.
Now he and Bruce Willis are trying to figure this out. He's all right.
So, just on the Breckenridge thing, I haven't tried this, but I kind of scrolled down on the page that had the description, and they have a whiskey barrel-aged Christmas ale called Holiday. I was wondering if...
Is it this beer in particular? That they
it says a brew to warm the spirit, aged in whiskey barrels. Holiday offers toasted biscuit notes complemented by soft caramel sweetness with hints of oak and whiskey, striking deep red in color. This strong brew makes a coveted holiday gift or beer and whiskey for beer and whiskey lovers alike. Being that it's like there's a picture of it, it's like bright red almost.
Oh, really? So it's not this beer?
Yeah, no.
I like the idea of a whiskey or a bourbon barrel aged Christmas ale. I think that sounds fun. We didn't end up getting the Great Lakes one. I was close. I wasn't close. I was in Ohio.
I was in the state.
I was in the state. I was nowhere near.
Was it a brewery only release?
Yeah, and it was that weekend.
Yeah,
it was while I was there. I thought maybe I was close enough where I can go and come back and like head back. Maybe it was an hour away. It was like 4 hours.
Were you going to Columbus or Cincinnati?
It was one of the two.
But I because I just remember when you told me you were going and you were like, oh, we're stopping in Fort Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Fort Fun. And I looked up the directions and I was like, you're going to go way out. You're going to be nowhere near
I was like,
Cleveland.
What? Yeah. And I looked it up and I was like, yeah, I think I was in Columbus. Yeah. Because we saw the show at the Blue Jackets Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Blue Jackets play.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was nowhere close. But I would like a barrel aged Christmas ale. It would be nice. I wish a Chicago brewery would do that. They're like, would be cool? Barrel aged Fistmas. Barrel-aged Fistmas, I think, would be tasty.
How have they not done that?
Yeah. Well, can someone get them on the phone? And where's Clark? When you listen to this, can you get in contact with Revolution and find out why they have not done a barrel-aged Fistmas yet?
Right on top of that, Rose.
That's a good Clark.
Sounded feminine there.
Brandon, how many Sugar Plum Fairies are you giving this?
I'm going to go 4.5.
Hey, wow. go. Now, why 4.5 for this? Just out of curiosity.
Probably because I like this one better than the other ones we've had so far. But
I can see
also, knowing that I've had the original and going back from what I can remember, it tastes as true to the original at this time,
freshness,
which is
yeah.
a definite plus for it. And I agree with Dan that like, and I said like they're, the hops may have fallen off and maybe that's creating some other kind of flavors, but it's not in no way unpleasant and makes me think that this isn't a Christmas beer.
I'm going to go about 4 Sugar Plum Fairies on that. I agree with you. It's not my favorite Christmas ale, but I also feel like whatever's changed in it isn't enough to make it off-putting, nor does it make you feel like I'm not having this beer fresh at the moment. So I think like 4, maybe between us, it's 4. I would say like between 3.9 and 4.1, which is 4. So I think I'm gonna go 4. Dan, how many Sugar Plum Fairies are you giving this?
I think I went the first one. I think I went 3.5 or something. 3.25. I don't remember. But all right, so this one I'm gonna go higher than that, but I'm not gonna go to 4. I'm thinking 3.8. Pretty good, but it's a little old, so I'm just rating it. I'm rating it on what it is.
Yeah,
but it's a good. You can tell it's a good beer.
Well, I feel like even doing an episode like this, obviously it's based on our own taste, but for how old this beer is, we're also putting it, including that into our rating of it.
I also wanted to say, I was refreshing my memory. Beguile did their Christmas ale barrel aged, but I think it's been years ago. I don't think they've done it recently.
Which one?
Beguile Christmas ale.
Oh yeah,
they barrel aged that a while ago.
What I'd like to do is, we can do multiple Christmas episodes. What I'd like to do is just a strictly local Christmas beer episode. That would be fun. You know who should have been a part of this episode? Was Rachel, probably. We talked about doing
old beers,
old old Halloween beers.
You think she still has the pumpkin beer in her fridge?
Probably, and I think that Rachel, I don't know if you still listen to the show, but I feel like you got to come back for the Halloween episode.
Yes.
Did she?
Good job.
When was the last time she was on?
Last year.
Started.
Last year when we did when we were at Great American Beer Fest. That was the last time she was actually on.
Oh yeah,
a little quick interview.
Yeah,
I think it was before I started.
Yeah, it was. It's been a minute. So the next time she's on, you'll be gone. Let's move on to the next beer. Go ahead and grab that for us, Daniel. And before we open, you can open it up from there. I know Brandon got a little bit more of that. Nope, that's gone. I was going to say, Dan, tell us what. That's all right. Dan, I'm going to take some of your water as you struggle, if you don't mind. Just a little bit. Just taking a little bit of your water.
Kids, you send them to school, they eat the books.
We're not editing this episode. Oh, here we go. Dan, what are we drinking?
We have Brewery Amagang out of Cooperstown, New York.
Whoop, whoop.
Home of the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think they're in there, right?
Sure. I don't know anything about baseball, dude.
Everything Nice. Limited release, strong blonde ale with seasonal spices and natural and artificial flavor.
Artificial?
Best by 9/13/24, 9% ABV.
We're in the window.
We are in the window. All right, so
if it sucks, I'm going to be really pissed off.
Strong blonde. All right, this is just like Barbie, a strong blonde. By the way, I saw the Barbie movie. I highly recommend it. It's very good. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Tony is a Barbie girl.
I am a Barbie girl.
Barbie world.
I am definitely not a Ken. Let me tell you that. I am not a Ken. Although, go see the movie and then we can talk about Barbie and Ken. Is there any more left in there, Brandon?
There is.
I want to pour a little bit more in here because I have a feeling this one might be a fave. I said that last time I said that I was sorely mistaken with that Panda beer. You guys remember that? It was that black lager with vanilla. Matthew was last on. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. You were like, I'm going to love this. This is going to be so good.
That was a really good impersonation. I'm going to love it. It's going to be so good.
So there is a longer description.
Get into it.
Lightly dusted with spices of the season, Everything Nice is a warming, wintry Belgian-style blonde ale. This supremely cozy confection pairs perfectly with any traditional holiday treat. Note the flavors of cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, and white pepper as you sip next to the fireplace. We hope this fresh-baked offering brings warmth and light to you and yours.
Give some deep breaths in there. That's a much better description. I went in. So smelling it, it doesn't smell the way it tastes.
I just took a sniff. I haven't taken a sip yet. I'm getting like smoked meat. Like in like a...
The fuck you know what smoked meat's
Brandon's got some jerky going right now. That's why.
I don't know why.
I can see that. Actually, you know what it reminds me of?
It's not real. It's got like a meaty. It doesn't smell like you're
Actually,
opening a pack of beef jerky, but
I don't necessarily think meaty, but when you said that, it reminds me of this this convenience store I used to go to as a kid when we would go camping in Fremont, Wisconsin, and it was like my first introduction to like different types of jerky and like we used to go there. That was our big trip. Fremont, I think, is like 3 hours from Chicago, if that. Jellystone, Yogi Bear, great. But this place is on the Fox River. But that was like where you'd go and get like your groceries and stuff. But that kind of has that kind of smell. And I don't know what that, I can't.
Ooh, that smell.
I don't get smoked meat, but I understand what you're saying.
it was like right when I poured it. Now I'm getting more clove on the nose.
When I first smelled it, I got like, oh, okay, it smells like a strong alcohol type of blonde beer with nice hops, but not like a hoppy beer. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can I ask? I'm going to ask you to go first on this.
Sure.
one.
I was gonna dive into it because this to me is all the best parts of Belgian beers that I like. And we know how I'm kind of like iffy on Belgian beers, especially for like a Christmas beer, like a Christmas time beer, a winter beer. Like I feel the warming in my face right now, and all the descriptors and everything, the ginger, the clove. Peppery, sure. The white pepper, they said, right? Black pepper.
I mean, white pepper is just like a...
It's pepper.
It's
just pepper.
No, I mean, I think it's supposed to be a slightly fruitier version of black pepper, but also not as like pungent as black pepper.
Still pepper.
It's just pepper. It's not... There's certain Belgian yeasts or like Belgian beers I kind of find like almost offensive how Belgian-y they are. Where it's like, okay, I get it. You're a fucking
the Belgian accent.
You're a fucking Belgian. Yeah, exactly. You're all in my face, dude. Back up. But this is like, I don't know. It's really good. There's like this fruity, not juicy, but like almost a citrusy end to this beer too that I wasn't expecting. And it's not huge. It's not like a lot, but it's enough to kind of like that I'm noticing at least. I think it kind of covers a lot of things here. This is kind of a strange but delicious ride in a beer.
I feel... So, the reason I asked you to go first, I feel like the clove in this one is stronger than the second one we had. The other one was stronger spiced, but this one, like the clove specifically, is super strong.
I'm not getting... Like, it's not standing out as... it is there, but I can taste other things. You know what I mean? Like, there is a strong spice present to this, but it's not like, hey, here's one spice and then all these other spices. This is like I said, it's like a trip through different flavors as you're drinking through this beer. And there's still like a little bit of that like warming alcohol, not burn, but like
I feel it in my... It's like warming my chest.
Yeah, it's definitely a warming beer. Like this is a great beer to sit around the fire and drink on a cold night.
I don't need the fire. This will keep me warm.
See, this guy gets it. Overall, what are you thinking about this one, Dan?
I like the Belgian characteristics, like you were saying. I think the clove is a little much for me, but this is probably the best of the night to me. Like, it doesn't taste old at all.
No, there's a fruitiness to it that I think I really like. I think that's what stands like a fruit spiced, like can almost be like a dessert beer, but not in the sweet sense. More of like the fruity and spice and like the warming aspect of it.
It did say confection, something about confection when I was reading it, and then that it goes with all the holiday treats.
Absolutely. So, this would be I didn't know this one existed, and I'll tell you this, I will definitely look for it. Brandon, what do you think about this beer, buddy?
I agree this is going to be up there with my favorite of the night. When I first started smelling it intensely,
You were intensely smelling it so much that you stuck your fingers in it and put it up your nose.
Yeah, I snorted it. I couldn't tell. I couldn't grasp what I was smelling. Like everything was kind of coming at once. But then as I kind of kept doing it, because I wanted to make sure that if there was something I was going to notice, I wanted to notice it on the nose. And I was getting, the first thing I got was nutmeg. Like, I smelt nutmeg.
Yeah.
And then I smelt ginger. And then cinnamon. I was like, cool, all of these are coming through. And clove was there. Clove was subtle, but clove is still there for me.
Nutmeg is still like lingering in my mouth right
Yeah, 100% agree. Like, so I was pleasantly surprised with that. And then this one, I think, is the closest to it smells like it drinks.
Yeah.
Out of all the ones we've had tonight. That one was pretty close. Because I'm tasting cinnamon, I'm tasting nutmeg, I'm tasting a little bit of the spice from ginger. And I just think this is such a well done beer. I'm actually glad that I took these out like when we first started recording, because it says on the back the optimal serving temperature is 50 degrees.
Yeah, this is the right temp to drink this beer too.
And so they're kept at like 38 in the fridge, so it had some time to warm up. And I feel like this is excellent the way it is.
Yeah, I would say. Okay, before we do that, how many?
Buddy the Elves. No, I don't know. Go on.
You guys know I've never seen the movie Elf. What? How many? What do we think? What do we get here? How many John McClanes are you going to give this, Brandon?
You could have done how many yippee-ki-yays.
All right. How many yippee-ki-yays are you going to give this motherfucker?
I'm going to go... So you know what? Because of this beer, I feel like I need to change my rating of the last one. Because like it's just completely...
No, I think that's okay.
But
you were basing that off of...
Yeah.
You can still rank them differently.
Yeah, no, I know. This one, though, I'm like 4.75. Between 4.5 and 4.75. This is a really fucking good beer that if I ever see it again, I will buy multiples of this. Because
please let me know.
I want to do it. I want to do it fresh. I want to like just see how it progresses.
It's something that would be good. That's a beer that you could let sit. I say we because I drink them with you.
Yeah.
That's a beer that we can let sit in your cellar because this is what a year old, and it says it's at least until next December or next September. It's good to hold on to. Dan, how many yippee-ki-yay motherfuckers are you giving this one?
I'm gonna go 4.
4.
Yeah,
Just 4
I think
I like that.
Yeah, I think that like you guys are saying about trying it fresh, I feel like I'm curious to see if I get the spices in more of a balance then, and the clove isn't as overpowering to me. But like I said, similar to the last one, I feel like it's you can tell it's a well done beer. The clove slightly overpowering for me, but I like it overall. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Brandon on this is 4.75 EPKA motherfuckers. It's my favorite beer of the night. It's really nice.
It really does have everything nice.
Yeah, it really, yeah, fuck. I mean, really, it might be, it's up there. I think it might be up there now as one of my favorite Christmas beers. I'm looking forward to drinking this around Christmas time. I'm going to actively seek this out and see what we can do about, trying to find it from somebody that might have access to it who might not be in this state.
And you might say it's got sugar and spice.
And everything nice. Yeah,
but we get it.
For sure we got that.
Oh my God, in here, right?
Thanks. Yeah. I'm sure we just need to look around and maybe ask around.
I mean, I'm assuming if this limited release gets all the way to Arizona,
that stuff is weird. Yeah, it's weird sometimes.
I mean, distribution is all crazy bullshit at times.
So if we're gonna rank these, I think we might all land in the same ship here. But Dan, we're gonna start with you from worst. Not worst. From least favorite to most favorite of the night. Which doesn't mean the beers suck, because they're all just based on what we drank tonight.
From Tiny Tim to Scrooge?
You got it, buddy.
We will go... Tiny Tim is definitely...
Wait. I feel like Tiny Tim, though, is like the good.
Yeah. You said start good, right?
No, start bad.
Oh, start bad? I shall start the Scrooge.
Scrooge to Tiny Tim,
right,
sorry.
So,
my mistake.
The Office Party is the worst. The Christmas Ale from Abita is the second worst. The Christmas Ale from Breckenridge. We only had 4, right?
Yeah.
Don't use the word worst.
Yeah. We don't use worst, man. Just like least
enjoy.
Jesus.
It is the worst.
That's fine.
And then Christmas
Dan,
Ale, Abita. And then Breckenridge Christmas Ale. And then everything nice.
Yeah, I'm with you on all that. I would say that Office Party was my least favorite. While there was things about it that I think people would enjoy, I'm sure having it fresh would be much better, but I did not care for it too much. Abita Christmas Ale, I I think that's one is probably did not stand the test of time as far as freshness. I think having that fresh might give us a different outlook, maybe. I don't know. Breckenridge Christmas Ale is only second because of how great that Omegang Everything Nice beer was. That just outshined everything. That drank like a fresh beer almost. I think the higher alcohol obviously had a lot to do with that and everything they had going on there. So that's the rundown for me as well.
I have to say real quick that the Abita Christmas Ale, I just realized that it's alligators that are flying Santa's sleigh, which is very
New Orleans.
Louisiana or whatever you say.
Did you say Louisiana?
He called it, it's like he calls the beer lousy, also Louisiana. He thinks Louisiana's lousy.
You're going to get barred from that state.
Seriously, dude. Not cool. We like everybody on this show. Brandon, would you agree with all of that as well?
Yeah. I'm surprised. Actually, no, I'm not surprised because, we're ranking the Christmas Ale third, the Breckenridge. But I was thinking or hoping that, like, being in that mini keg, you, like, would have been, like, elevated and, like, that much better. But I'm like, it was good. You know?
I just I just poured a little bit now. Remember I said I got the metallic the first time? So after having the Omegang, I don't get the metallic again. Like, I feel like that was just a transitional type thing, so... And that's just me. I know that, like, there's certain beers that I try, I'm like, I'm getting, like, a metallic tinny taste, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I kind of get that on, like, the Russian Imperial Stouts, like you were saying.
I think it's a roasted malt thing. Maybe you and I have talked about this before, maybe not on Myke, but yeah, I think this was a good experiment in trying old Christmas beers, especially here in July, because we're ending July this week. This is it. It's the end of July. That's what it's going to be. And I don't know what's coming next. What happens in August? Pre-pumpkin beers? I don't know. Pumpkin beers are going to start coming out soon.
Oktoberfest beers are already out.
Oh, fuck. Let's start grabbing them. Might as well, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can do 3 Oktoberfest beers episodes this year. That was the best last year. So many Oktoberfest beers. That was insane. And I did talk to Clark yesterday, and he says hello to everybody, and that he actually was really interested in coming on this one because he thought it would have been fun, but that his return is definitely on the horizon.
Has he not been on at all this year?
It's been a while, just like that Stain song.
I was gonna say, like, can we go a year without Clark?
I don't know. I can't. I cannot. I will say this, though. Clark and I are going to... Brandon made the greatest face in the world. I'm sensing some jealousy.
No, I love
great.
Clark, but I'm like, it'd just be interesting to see how long it takes before he gets back on.
Well, it's kind of... I mean, now it's just become funny how much he's not been on. But Clark and I are going up to Michigan in September, so we'll have some... I think we're going to try and...
Another trip to Clark's house in Michigan where Clark doesn't invite anybody else.
You got it, man.
Fucking go.
How many golf carts are you falling off?
You know what? I brought that up. I brought that up to Clark. I was like, was that last year? He goes, yeah. I go, seriously? That was last year? I feel like it was 2 years ago. He goes, nope, that was last year. And I was like, it's probably
What
brain
weekend are you
injury.
guys going? You know?
I do, and I'll let you know. But yeah, so I think my plan, or what I'd like to do, is we're going to hit up the normal spots, but I think we've never really done like the full, we've done a couple of beers, but we are going to go to Seeds, and we're definitely going to Watermark. So I don't know if we try and get a bunch from both, or just do like a full Seeds episode, or do a full Watermark episode finally.
I was in Michigan like 2 weeks ago or something, and Clark, I posted a story, and Clark saw it and like messaged me. He was also in Michigan, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm at Watermark. No surprise." So yeah, no surprise. You'll be going there.
That should be a name of a
He was
Watermark.
like inviting you on a date. You're in Michigan too? Let's get together.
Let's hang out.
Yeah, he's a little further south than we were.
Where were you guys at?
Like South Haven-ish.
Oh yeah, I mean, not too far, but yeah, definitely
like
really.
40 minutes. Something
Yeah,
like that.
but yeah, I would like to bring back a lot more beer from Seeds this time. Just they're really good, and we're gonna grab some beer or a pizza from Beer Church because that's all they're good for. All right, you guys, Merry Christmas.
I thought you liked everyone on here.
I do. I really love Beer Church's pizza. Their pizza is phenomenal. Like, they get really creative with their pizza. It's delicious.
Did you not listen to fucking Pete and go to Haymarket and get their pizza in Michigan?
You know what? Well, we might have to stop there and go. Maybe we'll do a double pizza, like a pizza.
You can never have too much pizza.
That's true. This guy gets it. Brandon, love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Dan, I did it backwards. I'm supposed to say Dan first. Dan, you're on a roll. Look at you in your hot streak.
I did miss after the Final Four last week.
No, you missed. Yeah, melted minis. We just melted minis don't count. You know what I mean? Like, they count.
That's just us scrambling to get something in.
You know, I was thinking about that today too. Like, as like we've gone through this year, we're only like episode. I think this is 116 or 117. This really should be like episode almost 140 from how much we do like in between. But 200 is like 3 years away now at this point.
Malted minis after the Final Fours.
So many, but you know, malted minis might go behind a paywall at some point. We don't know. Dan, continue the hot streak. Keep coming. Good fist bump. We love you, man. Brandon, I love you.
Love you too, bud.
We'll see you guys next week. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa. What else happens there? Fuck.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.